Hello, my name is Patricia, and in this opportunity, I'm going to talk about ancient Egypt woman versus American modern woman. First, I'm going to talk about the privileged women in ancient Egypt and talk about the differences and similarities that we can find now in American modern woman. The historians are amazed by how important and vital ancient Egypt women were in Egyptian society. And that is because they were always compared with other cultures like Greece and Rome. They were often well respected, highly visible, which means they can travel anywhere they wanted. They were protected by Egyptian laws, which were made by the pharaoh, and treated better than any other major civilization that ever existed. The private life of women in Egyptian society was the one of the freedom, which is a dream of any girl, the independence, the legal and citizenship rights, which now American modern woman needs in the society. So how is that we connect ancient Egyptian woman with the modern American woman? It's because there are also women, the household's expectations, the jobs and laws in ancient Egypt has progressively over many centuries to today's modern American women's roles. That's why today we can find many positive similarities and also negative differences as well. We talk about how ancient Egypt women were very well respected, appreciated, and protected by the laws made by the pharaoh. I wonder a question, and that is, are women treated better now than before? Which to answer this question, I ask another three questions to myself and to others. The first question is, which girl in the magazines has more possibilities to find a mate in a dating app? So, from the three different kind of women posing in different positions, do you think it will be the better match for a date? Probably most of the guys are gonna look at the first woman in the picture because it's a typical maybe blonde and white and young girl, and the way they look, the way that she's posing, like a little provocative, we can think that it's gonna be the best for for to match a dating app. The second question is, which girl in the magazines has more possibilities to find a job as a bank manager? You can look from the three different magazines as well, and this time not only guys but women as well can look and judge, thinking that the second woman is probably the best option for the position. And we think that because we judge about their appropriate clothing, um, the the behavior. Maybe we think it is more serious behavior. It looks like she has experience and professional, and it looks like it's a typical American wealthy woman. And The third question will be which girl in the magazine has more possibilities to be discriminated for her appearance in the job? From the three different magazines, probably the third woman in the picture that has tattoos and is a little overweight is we think it could be judged by their look and the way they behave. We can think that they're not serious or that they are just gonna be someone judged by guys mostly probably and not gonna be someone who is probably a guy gonna choose as a first option. So that is how I believe society is treating women right now. So today's women are treated according by their appearance, and that is something is happening comparing to the ancient age of women, which they were not judged by their looking or their appearance. They were treated as how they are. However, from these three different magazines, we don't need to read, we don't need to meet the person, we don't need to know who they are or either their names. We just can see what they are and what people could say from them and what it will be their future. We can just keep judging and having a history for each of them without looking or meeting anything else. So I believe women need to be respected and well treated and not be judged by only their looking because that's how women should be treated, just not be judged by their looking or treated different by than others just because of their appearance. We learned how ancient Egypt women were treated compared to modern American women. Now I'm going to talk about Egyptian women household versus American women household. Egyptian women were in control of the completely domestic tasks in the house. They prepared the food, cooked the meals, cleaned the house, made the clothing, took care of their children. Um, but they were classified by two different society classes. The first one is the poor woman, and the second one will be the wealthy woman. The poor woman will help their husbands work in the fields, while the wealthy woman would just manage the servants or perhaps run a business of their own. In the first picture, we can see that uh, a poor woman probably is helping her husband in the fields. And in the second picture, we can see wealthy woman running a business or taking care of their children and being in charge of the servants. They were strictly selected by the pharaoh that they also have the liberty to choose the work they want to do in the house because the pharaoh had many different business. However, a poor woman wouldn't have the same liberty to choose as they were strictly just working with her husband in the fields. This we can compare with American women households as well, because poor American woman would constantly be working with her husband to pay the bills of the house and their children, compared to wealthier women, which it wouldn't need to just do the housework, but they need to be in charge of the servants, like the maid or babysitters. And they were they are more have more probabilities to work in the business with her husbands. Modern women household. In today's modern society, a nuclear family is when there is a husband, a wife, and kids. So, a successful woman is well seen when they start a family with kids and become a housewife or working mother like the Egyptian woman. However, in today's society, more young women are fighting for changing this mentality. Women can make their own decisions now if they want to have a family or a child or a husband, or if they even want to stay single forever. Poor women start at home if they have children or are pregnant, which this is something that it's very similar to the ancient Egypt woman, that the poor woman have to help her husband in the field, and it hasn't been really changed much over the time. Wealthy woman hires a maid to do the household or nanny to take care of their children. This is another similarity which Asian Egypt women also had their servants to do the domestic task, um, or work more in the business with their husbands, which um, it also hasn't been changed over the time. Modern woman uses now modern technology to keep the house safe and clean. This is some a differences that we can see in between the modern and the ancient woman, because we didn't have technology in the past. However, now we have modern technology that can help us to clean the house, like the cleaner robot or mappings and other stuff that we use to help us. Another thing that it's very similar is that are the pets that women choose in their houses. And one of them is the cats. For example, cats are very friendly pet animals that are attached to women until now. And it happened since the ancient Egypt woman. And they were even buried with their pets. So I think that it's something that even today's women, American modern women, can experience the same thing. After learning about how ancient Egypt women worked their domestic tasks at home compared to modern American women, I'm gonna talk now about Egyptian women as wives compared to modern American women. Egyptian women had the right to buy, retain, and sell any property or goods they brought in from the marriage. There was a purpose for women to get married, which they needed to know what were the goods of their husband before they get married. So they know how much they were the properties that they were gonna pass through their own hands. Women were able to be witnesses in court, sit on a jury, and take complaints directly to the judge, which that was a very powerful force that they used mm, to make themselves to seem very respectful. So the judge could probably listen to the woman's testimony before their husband. Um, Women were able to perform legal duties for their husband if they were sick or away. That is, for example, if his husband is was not available to sign a document or to gain the the goods that he received from a specific job, then the woman was the one who was doing the entire job of her husband when they were sick or with any disability. They were also gaining their entire goods if they were not available to work anymore. Modern American women as wives are gonna differ from ancient Egypt wives because they are not gonna receive all the benefits from the government if they are widow or um, divorced. Each state is gonna have their own rule. The marital rights can vary from state to state. However, most states will recognize that they're gonna be able to open a joint bank account, to file a joint federal and state tax returns, so they can receive the family rate on health, car, and liability insurance. The laws on the state is gonna affect how marital property is divided between the wife and the husband. So they're not gonna receive all the properties from her husband compared to ancient women that um, they received that right to own all the properties from their husband. The ones that are divorced or widow also may not, or they can receive the benefits of it. Like if their husbands are veterans, then uh, they can have probably more benefits like social security pension, like the medical care, the nursing home care, the right to burial in veteran cemeteries, the educational assistance and housing, which it's not a right for every woman that hasn't been married with someone that is not veteran. Um, Finally, I'm going to talk about Egyptian women jobs versus American women jobs. Women in ancient Egypt could, as men, also become the pharaoh or queen of the land. Three examples of them are Nefertiti, Hatshepsut, and Cleopatra. Nefertiti was the queen of Egypt during the mid 1300s, and her name was "The Beauty Has Come." She will be always remembered as the wife of Ramses III. And during the hard period of the history in Egypt, Hatshepsut was the fifth pharaoh of Egypt during the 1400s before Christ, and she married her half-brother Thutmose III. Then is Cleopatra, who became a pharaoh at 18 years old and was the last active pharaoh of Egypt. The three of them will be always remembered in history for their jobs and how they struggle and the decisions they make to try to keep their people safe and continue the dynasty of Egypt. Modern American women jobs are going to be pretty similar as Asian women jobs because they are now rising and achieving jobs that are more like male dominated. Like they can be like to be a president, Congress, becoming a CEO, and more. Three of the figures that mark her in the history of America are Amelia Earhart, Grace Brewster Hooper, Sally Ride. They all mark in history because they did an excellent job as the job were could be made by males. Amelia Earhart was an American aviation pioneer and writer. Grace Brewster Hooper was an American computer scientist and a United States Navy officer, and Sally Ride was the first American woman who was an astronaut and a physicist. So three of these women shows that um, we are capable to do and have a better position in life and not just stick with the thought that women just should get married and have kids. I believe that we women have now more opportunities, so we can show people that women are not just good for being wives and mothers. They can do an excellent job as if the job were made by male too. That's all. Thank you.